All right, guys, I think I'm recording here, but I'm not gonna know until I get home. Trying something new here. I'm actually trying to, I got a GoPro, and I'm walking my dog here. That's him right there, but I'm walking my dog here, and if this right here actually works, this is how I'm gonna do when I go through the houses and walk the houses. That way I don't have to hold a camera. I don't have to have my phone in my hand and try to do this at the same time. So this video here, I was actually one of the guys that hey, thanks to Wade, man, because he helped me create content. But you know, he gave me a call yesterday, and one of the guys that kind of looks at the videos on my channel, and he was just saying that, you know, he's building in a market where, you know, where there's two major players in that market, you know, and these guys were kind of second generation home builders, and, you know, they kind of have a tradition of building homes and everything. And so they kind of ahead of the curve, kind of sort of like what I had to go through when I first started building, you know. I didn't really have I didn't have a father that actually was a home builder and understood the business side of building, that could just kind of take me under his wing and teach me all the things that he did, or teach me all the mistakes that he made, so that I don't make those mistakes, guys. I had to make mistakes early in this game. I mean, mistakes that, you know, to a degree, I don't think those mistakes were any fault of mine, because the economy in 2007, man, no one knew that the economy would crash the way it did. You know, traditionally, we always just thought that houses, and we've always been taught that, how you doing? That houses, the value of real estate always went up. Well, I actually saw in my lifetime where it actually went down. And it just so happened to happen when I was getting into this game, man. And I was like, man, I'm just always, everything I do is bad luck. So that's why I know it's time for me to start winning. But, you know, I had to make all the mistakes, guys. I had to make major mistakes. And which is why I would preach this, and I will continue to preach it, that, you know, each generation, it shouldn't get harder and harder. You know, each generation, you know, my son, if I bring my son into this game, he shouldn't have to come in this game and have to learn everything all over again and get knocked back, man. Because when you get knocked back, especially the way I got knocked back, I was out the game because I messed my credit up. I'm out the game 7 years. So you got 7 years, and these guys are the guys who are already in here, the second and third generation home builders who dad taught them the mistakes not to make. Those guys they're still moving, and they gaining momentum. And, you know, and I'm knocked out the game for 7 years. I can't even build. You know, luckily I found a job as a building official, and I found another one as a production manager at a building company. But that typically don't happen too much, guys. So you gotta have, you know, when you get into this game, if you're not a, you know, second generation home builder, and you haven't your dad or something hadn't taught you the mistakes, here we go, that builders make, so that you don't make those mistakes, then it's gonna be very difficult for you to make it in this game, guys. Very, very difficult. It's damn near impossible. So, you know, what I tell this guy, and this is a good guy, so he reached out to me, man. We talked about it for a minute, but guys, in this game, now, the great thing about right now, in today's time, it's my dog, he's struggling, buddy. In today's time, you have access to one thing that we didn't have access to about 20 years ago. And guys, that's YouTube. YouTube is You got not just YouTube, just Google, just the internet, guys. You got access to all the information that you can possibly get. As much as you want, man. And you guys better take advantage of it while it's free, because I would imagine that at some point in time, they're going to start making you pay for YouTube. I mean, they probably can. Well, they really kind of do, sort of. You know, if you buy the premium subscription where you don't have the interruptions of the commercials, so you can do that as well. Make sure I'm still recording here. I think I am. But you got access, and guys, you got access to the internet. But as builders, guys, you know, call some of these older builders who have been doing this thing. I mean, you have online coaching. I'm trying to set up my coaching. I'm trying to finish up some houses first before I start doing that. But you have coaching, you know, coaching calls that you got people who are already builders or where you want to be at. They will coach you, man. I mean, you're gonna have to pay now. You know, that's the thing. And unfortunately, guys, man, I hate to say this, man. I don't know what it is. Guys, you know, I had to get on this black thing, man. We just don't like to pay, man. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, you gonna have to pay for that, man. Pay for that coaching, or you know, reach out to builders and stuff, man. And you know, I've always, and this is what I told the guy. I said, you know, don't look at these guys that's in your market as, I mean, they're gonna be your competition, because they are your competition, it is what it is. But reach out to them, man. They'll be glad to share information with you. And you know why they'll share information with you? Right now, the reason that they'll share information with you, because if you're building one house, they're building 20, they're not gonna see you as a threat. They're not gonna see you, not right now. I've had builders to tell me that. I just don't see you as a threat. I'll teach you anything. So reach out to these guys, man. Reach out to these guys, and you guys can share. I mean, there's some things you can share with them and some things they can share with you. But now the biggest part of building a house, guys, and what I told this guy, because he was telling me that, you know, I think the real estate agent probably made just not, guys, in the last month, in the last 2 weeks, I've had 2 builders kind of getting out there starting to build, and they both told me the same thing. One of them called me up, because he know I've dealt with this right here before. He called me up, well, both of them really. But he said, man, my real estate agent, not only that, my real estate agent is making more than I'm gonna make. And then he was like, you're making more than I'm making. And I was the one that showed them the house. I was the one that unlocked the house, let them in, and I did the heavy work, and they make more than me. Guys, let me tell you something as builders, man. Don't count their money. I know they got this real estate lawsuit thing, or whatever that thing that went on, and they kind of revamping the way they charge commission and things like that. But guys, don't, you understand what the profit margins are right now until those things kind of really kick into place. You understand the profit margin is what, 6%, 5%, 6%, or whatever it is. Just go ahead and cough that up. Price your product. When you're getting started, you need to have that in mind before you even start. Go ahead and cough that up, you see. Go ahead and pay that 6% or whatever. But if you can produce a profit, this one builder was saying that he actually was able to produce a profit. He didn't, the real estate agent made more than him, but he was able to produce some sort of a profit comparable to what the real estate agents were making. So if you can do that, guys, what that means that you need to zoom in on your business side. See, you're able to build a house and sell it. Now, I don't know how much money you really don't know how much money you're gonna make until a 1 year reunion of that house. When you went out there and you done did all your callbacks, because you're gonna have some callbacks. you're not gonna really know what you made on that house until 1 year reunion of them moving into that house, that customer moving into that house. But if you're able to make a profit from that house, just somewhat of a profit, may not be what you really want. It may not be the 10% or the 13 or 16% some of these guys claim they're making. Yeah, it may not be that. But if you're able to produce a profit, what you need to do is you need to really study everything that you're doing in that house. You need to make sure, I mean, look at the invoices, guys. I'm telling you, I'm actually building a little house right now, and I think that house is probably about $170,000 at the most. And guys, and we're in the middle of completing this house, guys, and I've already dealt with over $7,000 worth of invoices that were not correct. I don't know if you guys heard me on that. I said $7,000 I would have given to my subcontractors and suppliers. And they would have made, how you doing? And they would have made that money off of me, and they just had invoices that were wrong, i.e. your framers, your siding guys, your lumber supplier. And the lumber supplier mainly is gonna be making sure, you know, the lumber that you don't need, that you get credit for the returns and things like that, and making sure that your framers are appropriating lumber correctly. And then your MEP guys, just things like that. You got to look at every guy's. If you can't do it as the builder, you got to sit down and have somebody who can scrutinize every last one of those invoices coming from everybody. Now, here's another item that you get into. Some guys, I was talking to some guys, and I know I'm probably going all over the place, guys. Some guys like to give it to the lady in the office. A lady in the office, yeah, she understands office procedures and stuff like that, but she doesn't understand building construction. And this is where you can get into a headache, because if she doesn't understand, see, now the reason I'm able to do it is because, say for instance, I have a guy that did my siding. He sent me an invoice, and I was the one who actually ordered the material. So when you send me an invoice and he has 23 squares, and I know when I ordered the material, I only ordered 12 squares, well, see, now we got a problem. You see how this, see, now I know. I'm intuitive on this right here. But if you got a lady in the office that don't know really, that doesn't understand construction and stuff like that, and don't really know this stuff, they're not gonna be able to put that together. All they know is they got invoices. It's not gonna do you any good with that. You gotta have somebody that understands that stuff and able to kind of track and help with that stuff. So you just can't put that on the girl in the office and she can lock them down and shit, you can't do that, guys. You gotta have somebody who, and it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have the person who actually estimated the job, and let them, and whoever's uploading the information on your software. Once again, guys, you're not gonna make it without software. So who's ever putting this data into the software, they need to be the one to deal with those invoices. Because now okay, when I'm going in this software, and this software is saying it was, this is how much it should cost, and these guys are over, well, red flags ought to come up. Yeah, come on, buddy. Come back. You always get carried away. Want to go different places, man, so I had to check him every once in a while. So guys, I know, man, it's tough out here, man. If you hadn't built before, some of these companies out here, they have gained momentum, and they've been operating for years. And you come in and, you're the new guy on the block. Well, the good thing about you as a builder is that, there's one thing about you is that what you could do is chances are you don't have the overhead that they have. So that's one good thing. Now they're probably able to beat you pretty good, and they beating you based on they're gonna beat you based on the amount of volume that they do. And because they do a lot in volume, they're gonna have access to more to pricing than you, to even subcontractors and suppliers. Hey, buddy, stop, man. Gee, stop. And so, go get it. So those are the things that you got to keep in mind, guys. So yeah, they're gonna have access to things like that you're just not gonna have. Get it, boy. But you can, so you can actually get out here and compete with those guys, man. And at the end of the day, guys, so at the end of the day, he was just telling, this guy was also telling me that they don't really have an inspection department in that area. So they're not really, so those builders design their building, they're not being held accountable. So he has a home builder's license. Them guys don't have one because they don't have an inspection department. So they're not being held accountable to make sure that everything is code compliant. So they're just doing what they want to do. Well, I get it, man. That could be one selling point that you have. When people come in and look at your house, hey, look, we don't have a building department in this area. You don't have to tell them what builder's doing this right here, but I'm building these houses because I got a home builder's license. I'm building these houses to make sure it's code compliant. And let me show you what a home builder's license look like. You show those guys your home builder's license and say, tell you what, when you go to the other builder, ask them to produce their home builder's license. Well, that's a selling point right there, guys. All right, guys, so I just wanted to kind of do this little video right here. Appreciate my guys for watching my videos and stuff, man. And I want to just try this right here out just to see how this thing works and see, am I gonna have to tweak some things out. I'm thinking about putting it on my head. This is GoPro. I've been having this GoPro for a while. It's probably one of the older GoPros. They might have GoPro 18. And I'm sitting up with a GoPro 7, I believe. And just show you how far behind I am, but I think the camera quality is a whole lot better. All right, guys, like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. And, if you guys have any questions, man, you can go on my channel and ask a question, Ask a question, man. I try to get you. You guys have a good one. Man, I just saw a bird just grab a squirrel or something, man, and fly off with them. Jeez. That's how you stop.